everybody, and welcome back to a show about shows. I'm Dutch McAllister, along with my tag team colleague, Jordan, the Pierce Owens. And I got to tell you, I'm excited to be back. And there's a lot of travesty that took place when we were on vacation. And when we come back from vacation, I mean, I don't know, it just follows us wherever we go. It seems it's the death mark. But we'll talk a little bit about that later. But I have to say, I am happy to be back. I'm 5 shows from Liberation, and we're still on the hunt. I have a trail of a perfect host. Don't think I don't. And he'll be around in probably about 5 to 6 weeks. So we'll see what we have in store for you about me leaving the show and them replacing me. Jordan doesn't know anything about this. So I'm very thrilled that I found a replacement. He's just got to okay that replacement once he sees that replacement. So, Jordan, how you been doing, man? Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, and everything else in between.
Yes, first show of the year. We're in 2022. What a year! What an interesting year. But some good movies came out, so we'll be talking about that.
Okay, that sounds like you're a good thing. We'll be talking about something. So, but no, we'll have a lot to talk about tonight. And we're all going to talk about our top 10 2021 films. I can't wait to hear what your list. I'm hoping it's as good as mine because you've seen a lot more than I have. So, But
do you have a number? Do you know how many you've seen this year?
You're gonna think I skimped. I did. I do have a number. 89. And that's
not
the
bad.
truth. 80,
not bad.
I had 89. I usually go over 100. This year, last year I went probably about 75. So I think I'm increasing, but the years before,
my goal is always 100 or more. Can you guess what I got to?
I'm gonna say 123.
You overshot it just a smidge. I'm currently sitting at 119.
Congratulations, my good sir. See, we could have a different top 10 list than expected.
I think we will have some disagreements here. I think I'll have maybe a couple things you haven't gone to. I think you're going to have some things for sure I have not gotten to. So
no, I don't think that. I think we're going to have a pretty good list for.
I think
everybody.
it'll be good. I'm just saying. I think there will be some differences.
Oh, I don't know. I'm kind of a mainstream lister this year.
Oh.
So let's kick this off. Go ahead and let's kick off this big movie review show that we have for you tonight.
All right. Well, before we get to the best of 2021, we're going to talk about some recent reviews that we saw in the last week or two. Coming up first, The Matrix Resurrections. Played by strange memories, Neo's life takes an unexpected turn when he finds himself back inside the Matrix. This stars Keanu Reeves, Gary Ann Moss, Jonathan Groff, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Jessica Henwick, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Neil Patrick Harris, NPH. JPO saw it. DM saw it. What do you think, Dutch?
I did not think much about this film. There was a lot of hype, a lot of shiny new pieces, but it was basically a Hugo in disguise. I have to tell you, they had a lot of good things they could have done with this film a lot better. I loved MPH's character, as the new architect, we'll call it. Also, I loved Yahya's Yahya, right? Yahya. Right? I loved his performance. But I have to say though, I'm kind of disappointed by they had the opportunity to expand the cast and they kind of fell down. Yeah, they gave you some new members of the world, but they fell down on making them more of a focal point than say the Keanu Reeves character and the Carrie Ann Moss character. And I just thought Trinity and Neo, yes, it's fantastic. That's nice to see. But at the same time, it just felt like they had nothing more, to give. But this new world of cast and characters had a lot more to offer, in my opinion. I was disappointed. It's beautifully done, as all Matrix films have been. but at the same time, very disappointed in how it was executed at the end.
Yeah, man. I chalk it up to this. It's definitely not going to make my top 10 of the year. It's by far not going to make my top bottom either. But yeah, I chalk it up to kind of in a way like that last Jason Bourne movie, or like just other things where the hype, it did not reach it. You know what I mean? We've had so many years since kind of lackluster sequels in a lot of people's opinions, including mine, and they just, I don't know. I thought this was just fine. I don't necessarily. Yahya Abdul is a fantastic actor. I don't think necessarily they earned why it just couldn't have been Lawrence Fishburne again. I thought they didn't do enough difference with that. I don't like the new Mr. Smith. I didn't like where they went with that. Bill Patrick is fine. It looks nice aesthetically, but at the same time, I don't think the action scenes were any kind of memorable like some of the past ones were. There's not one scene that sticks out to a large degree as far as something that I will latch on to. I felt like they had an idea of trying to do something different, and it never gets fully executed to that final appeal. One of the worst end credits sequence, not end credits, after post credit scene
Yes.
that just really whimper of a joke. Don't know why they
Yeah.
felt the need to make a sit for that. So yeah, I thought it was fine. I don't really feel like they needed to come back. If they did another one, I'd be way less excited for it. I'd probably see it because there are some moments here I did enjoy seeing
Yeah.
Neo and Moss back together again. Trinity, that was cool. Like I said, there's moments here, but not enough. It's definitely a disappointment. Not a bad film. I would say some people are really hating on it. A couple people love it. I've seen it in top tens. I've seen it in several bottoms as well. I'm kind of in the middle of it. There's enough to, if you're a fan of the series, yeah, check it out. But if you're looking for, like almost like a Ghostbusters, like a reason that they came back, it's not necessarily here.
Yeah, like I said though, I give them props for trying, but I can't. I'm going to give it 1.5 snowflakes.
Whoa!
It to me, this version should have. To me, it had a virus written all over it. It should have been scrubbed and probably redone. That's probably why one of the Wachowski sisters did not show up for this. But I think Lana, she did her best. Good thing for her. But at the same time, it just didn't capture the imagination as the others have in the past.
Oh, man, I'm definitely the bigger fan here than you. I think it's 2.5. Like I said, there's enough for me to almost recommend this thing. But yeah, 2.5.
2.5. Well, Jordan, don't look up. Don't look up. Well, hey, that's the name of the next film. Don't Look Up over there off of Netflix. Two low-level astronomers, right? Astronomers, there we go. It just doesn't sound right. Must go on a giant media tour to warn humankind of an approaching comet that will destroy planet Earth. This has starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Rob Morgan, Meryl Streep, Jonah Hill, Kate Blanchett, Mark Rylance, Tyler Perry, and of course, everyone's heartthrob, Timothy Chalamet. You got a chance to see this. I have not seen it yet. It's on the list of things to see. Tell me what I'm missing over there on Netflix.
Yes, this is over here on the Netflix. In fact, I will have a little bit of a fun note about this movie over in our news and notables later on tonight. Plugski, to stick around. So recent film by Adam McKay. Started off very comedic with Will Ferrell doing Step Brothers. And more recently doing Vice, Big Short. And I really like both of those. And I do like this one as well. My problem with this one is I feel like the humor does try to bash you over the head just a little bit too much here. And it's never super funny to me. It's a very, excuse me, chuckling movie. I enjoy what Hill's doing. He's a suck up. He's the son of Streep. Rylance is very interesting as kind of a disconnected Steve Jobs-like character as well. But like I said, it's never really any hurtful belly laughs in this thing. I do enjoy seeing DiCaprio. While there is definitely dramatic moments, having a little bit lighter fun. I was hoping he would do something kind of like this. After he finally won that, got tortured enough for The Revenant to get that Oscar, so now he can maybe trail back sometimes. And as you can see, even in the cast, there's even more people popping up from Ron Perlman to Kid Cudi to Ariana Grande. They're not in it enough though, where I didn't even put them in the cast because they're in it very briefly. Yeah, so like I said, I like it. It does obviously have a sense of humor. I just never found it to be the sharpest or funniest thing in there. Worth checking out though. This one does get a recommendation to 3 stars. Check it out. See what you think.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this. Speaking of, I don't know. I'm not speaking of anything. You're next. What do you want me to
We're
read?
not speaking. We're gonna sing for the next one. No, we're not. Dear Evan Hansen. Evan Hansen at high school, which is social anxiety, unintentionally gets caught up in a lie after the family of a classmate who committed suicide mistakes one of Hansen's letters for their son's suicide note. This stars Ben Platt, Caitlin Dever, Amy Adams, Danny Pino, Julian Moore, Nick Dodani, and Colton Ryan. I was very hyped for this movie. I really wanted to see it, and then I waited, a couple weeks, and then I missed my window. It didn't last long in theaters. Some people have kind of torn this apart. It's gotten very mixed reviews, mostly for the fact that Ben Platt is, he's itching on that 30 door, and he's here playing a high schooler. For instance, I don't know if it was you or someone else I was selling this to the other day. He was a college student in Pitch Perfect in like 2012. So could they have maybe recasted it? Yes, but at the same time, I'm sorry, I will argue Ben Platt's really good in this. I can see why the director and the playmaker said, hey, if we're going to do a filmed version, we need Ben. He's been the one that has brought this to acclaim on Broadway. We feel he's right for the part. And I don't know, man. Is it distracting for a minute? Yes, I got sucked into the story. I got sucked into what was going on here. Everyone around him is really good. Amy Adams, I really enjoyed the arc with the father, as you see here sitting on the chair with Adams. And yeah, I don't know. I liked it enough to where again I'm gonna recommend it. There's some humor in this. There is emotions. Some of his decisions are questionable, but I think that's kind of the point though. Some people also dislike this for some of the things that he does, but he's a trouble kid, just kind of gets sucked up in this lie, and it's questionable. But I feel it is something that's relatable to a very large degree as well. So I did like it. Again, I'm not going to glow about it. It has its problems, but 3 stars, enough to check it out. Give this film a chance. Ignore the fact that he looks like kind of a puffy, made-up kid. Because Ben Platt's a really good actor. I love me some Ben Platt. He's a great singer. He's one of my most listened to artists last year. So yeah, I liked it. Screw you
But
guys.
you know what? Look, I love the original soundtrack. He's in the Broadway show, of course. Original soundtrack. I've listened to it.
I've listened to it recently,
and I haven't listened to it for a while. But it's a fantastic soundtrack. I'll give you that. And I want to watch it on the Broadway stage first before I watch it in the film. So that's usually how I run things. I do have an opportunity to watch it later on this year. So I can't
where
wait.
Where is it?
It's in the local theater coming up.
What theater? Be specific.
The Barber B. So the off chance of Broadway there. So I might go. I'm going to try to go to watch it whenever it gets there. So maybe I'll have a review of that better than I do the movie, because the movie really does not look that great. Well, anyway, let us move on to one of my favorite actors of all time. No, it's not Gerard Butler. No, it's not Liam Neeson. It's my other one. It's Nicolas the Cage. Yes, congratulations, by the way, Nicolas Cage. His 30-year old wife is having a baby. So congratulations to the Cages. Congratulations. But anyway, the movie we're going to talk about is Pig. A truffle hunter who lives alone in the Oregon wilderness must visit Portland to find a mysterious person who stole his beloved foraging pig. This has Nicolas Cage, Alice Wolf, and Adam Arkin. I am very interested in this. I have it in my little box to watch. I haven't had a chance. I was going to watch it this week along with another one of our films on the queue. Tell me, my friend, is this not Oscar-worthy material? It looks like it could be.
Yeah, man. It takes a second to get going, but there are a couple scenes in here that are must see. I won't get into spoilers because I do want you going in. I almost want you to close your eyes. Don't even look at the trailer. I want you to go in very fresh.
I
Just
just got rid of it.
get ready for performance here. Realize it's very dialogue driven. And like I said, there are some moments that are French kiss, fantastic in this. Nicolas Cage, there's revelations about his character, why he's going on this particular journey. It's a very interesting journey. Shout out to the young Wolf brother, him, Nat and Alex have both picked up some really interesting roles these last couple of years. So they're always interesting to watch. And even Adam Arkin, who I haven't seen in a minute here. I know Michael Myers killed him in H2O, and he's in other stuff too. But yeah, there's a moment where at the very end, there's just one scene where they're having dinner and watch it. I really, really liked it. 4 stars, big recommendation. Check it out when you can.
Absolutely. And happy late birthday to Nicolas Cage. Just had one over the weekend before we started filming this. So, yeah, I'm a very big fan, people. Can't help it. And don't forget Lionsgate's putting out that other movie later on this year as well. Next,
Dutch, you got some splaining to do.
Oh,
Being the Ricardos. It follows Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz as they face a crisis that could end their careers and another that could end their marriage. This stars Nicole Kidman, Javier Bardem, J.K. Simmons, Nina Ariande, Tony Hale, Jake Lacey, and Aaliyah Shawkat. Anyway.
Yeah, let me tell you. I actually watched this. Is over on Prime or in your local theater. I think some places are actually showing this theater as well. Being the Ricardos, I love this movie. I thought it was a great take on something we don't all see. It's whenever Lucille Ball finds out that she, of course, we find out back in her early days signed up to be part of the Communist Party. And it was her steadfastness in doing it. And also you had Desi Arnaz, her husband, having some of his own peccadillos as well that could or could not ruin their marriage during this time. I thought J.K. Simmons stole the show with his Fred, his character, the guy who played Fred, unbelievably. J.K. Simmons, round of applause for him. He can make me want to buy insurance no matter what. I thought it was just a great casting. I thought Nicole Kidman did a great job playing the icon Lucille Ball. A lot of people were upset with her casting. They wanted Deborah Messing. I could see Deborah Messing, but I thought Nicole Kidman brought a lot to it. And Javier Bardem, fantastic as Desi Arnaz as well. The whole cast and everything about it, and it delves into the mind a little bit of what Lucille Ball thought about when she did comedy during that period. I found it fascinating. I enjoyed the hell out of it. What did you think about this?
Growing up in a household, my mom was a big I Love Lucy fan, so I grew up on the show. I do love J.K. Simmons as Fred. Very inspired casting there. Fantastic casting. I actually found out earlier today on Letterboxd, which I'm a big fan of. Check me out on Letterboxd, Ben Affleck. J.K. Simmons evidently was my most watched actor of the year because I logged in every film I saw, and evidently I saw more things with him in it than anyone else.
He's everywhere.
He's everywhere, man. Coming up, I said for years, bring back his J. Jonah, and finally happened. Anywho, I knew there was a juicy story here in the Ricardo family. I forgot I didn't know about the communist stuff. I knew there was some juicy relationship stuff coming out here, and Aaron Sorkin's one of those writers. I don't think it's zipped like a normal Sorkin thing. It is a little slower than most of the Sorkin films, which is not a bad thing here. There are some great moments between Kidman in the studios and her and Bardem, and again even Fred and Ethel, those two actors. I want to say Nina Ariande as Ethel.
Yeah.
Also really good casting here. Some good moments between her and Kidman. I liked it as well. I thought it was interesting. It's a little kind of unfocused at times into exactly what story they want to tell, but I liked it as well.
Yeah, and I thought what was great about it is they didn't sugarcoat the Fred and Ethel chemistry they had, meaning they hated each other in real life. Being on that set, they hated each other. They just couldn't stand each other. But they were actors who were consummate and they did their job. So that's what I loved about it. They didn't sugarcoat, that type of part of it. I give this 4.5 snowflakes. I really enjoyed it. I just thought it was just a different take. A lot of people thought it would be more about Desi and his possible peccadillos, that salacial stuff, but not, the character arcs that we saw. And I thought it was unbelievable. And Adam Sorkin, as you know, I've seen some of his films and I didn't like it. Some of the other things I liked, his shows, but this one he hit it out of the park with me.
I'm not quite with you on that. Like I said, I liked it, never loved it. I give it 3 stars, enough to recommend. I do prefer other Sorkin stuff over this one, usually.
Okay. Well, I think you're wrong, because wrong is what Ron's Gone Wrong is all about. In a world where talking, walking, digitally connected bots have become children's best friends, an 11-year-old finds out that his robot buddy doesn't quite work the same as others do. Starring voices of Jack Dylan Grazer, apologize, Zach Galifianakis, Ed Helms, Olivia Colman, Justice Smith, and Rob Delaney. This is over there on HBO Max now. People can go over there and get it. So what did you think of this? This is also on the list for me to watch this week. Dang, I tell you, I'm behind, but I'll catch up to you one day.
Yeah, man, check this one out. It's a really decent mix of it. It looks fun. It has humor. It has heart. It's a good mix of those two things here, man. A simple story that I think will be fun for pretty much anyone of any age here. Yeah, I liked it, man. Like I said, it's super charming. It has a really good message. It goes at a pretty good pace here. It's a kind of 3-star kind of day. I'll give it even a little higher for this one though. 3.5 stars. What can I say? It's just a really fun, charming movie. It was worth checking out.
That's great to hear. Great to hear. What's next up on our agenda here?
We're gonna move things along here. Let's see what we're talking about next. We're gonna go over to my boys are back and my girls are back. Reno 911, the hunt for QAnon. The Reno Sheriff's Department finds themselves in their stickiest situation yet, hunting down Q, the person supposedly behind all of the conspiracy theories concocted by the QAnon movement. This stars Thomas Lennon, Wyndon McClendon-Covey, Cedric Yarbrough, Carlos Ellis-Rocky, DC Nash, Gary Kinney, Ben Grant, Mary Birdsong, Ian Roberts, RuPaul Charles, Pink, and Patton Oswalt. Why have you not seen this?
Because where the hell did you find this? I mean, literally, where did you find this show? Is it over on Paramount Plus or something?
Yes, it's a Paramount Plus. We got them back on Quibi, and then later on the Roku channel last year. Now they're back here, so there's still some juice left in Reno 911. I was a fan of the show. I will say, it can become repetitive if you watch it a lot back to back. But if you give it a little bit of space, I always enjoy kind of catching up with our favorite shorts wearing captain, Thomas Lennon, and the whole group here. And the whole group is back here, just like the Quibi show. Only one missing is Joe Lo Truglio, who you may know from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's the only guy that's not here. Everyone else is here to play. Kind of like the Quibi show. I feel like you can tell that some actors were on set more than others. Because there's definitely a little bit more of certain ones than others, I feel, or maybe there's just more for them to do. I would imagine there's also stuff on the cutting room floor with the amount that they film and play around with. Patton Oswalt playing probably his 14th Reno character. He's always somebody different in the TV show and movies. I mean, what can I say? It's not groundbreaking. It's not super great, but it's a lot of fun. These guys just kind of ad-lib and figure stuff out. Probably my favorite arc is Carrie Kinney, crazy character playing. She kind of has a fantasy fling with Rob Hubel's character, and I just won't say any more than that. Watch it. It's nuts. It's crazy. It's enough to recommend it 2.5 stars. I can't give you any more, but I just like Reno 911.
Well, let me dab my eyes because I'm crying. Just a lot of crying here. From the eyes of Tammy Faye, we go over there to HBO Max. In the 1970s and 80s, Tammy Faye and Jim Baker rose from humble beginnings to create the largest religious broadcasting network and a theme park, and were revered for their messages of love, acceptance, and prosperity. This has Jessica Chastain, Andrew Garfield, Sherry Jones, D'Onofrio, and Maker Weisstrach. I think I said it right. Weisstrach, maybe.
While you're watching Game of the Ricardos on the same channel, Amazon Prime, flip over to this based on a true story. Best part definitely. Well, actually, everyone here is really good. Actually, I was gonna say it was fun. Within the same week, I saw D'Onofrio pop up on this Hawkeye, Unforgivable. I had a really weird D'Onofrio like week, and a different guy in each movie too. So just a weird shout out to D'Onofrio here. And really interesting lead performances here by Garfield, by Chastain. I really like the arc of her kind of still trying to just make Mama proud, man. Isn't that true? Just want to make Mama proud. Jerry Jones is never happy with her. But in these little slight moments, and maybe she is. Maybe she is. And another one kind of like Lucy, enough to definitely recommend. Again, it's trying to juggle a lot. This one, like the Lucy one, at least for the most part, stayed kind of in one frame. This one is juggling many years, so it is one of those. You know what I mean? There's only so much you can do within that time frame, but enough to where I thought it was a really interesting movie to watch. Interesting tale that I didn't really know much of as to what these two were pulling, and some of the behind the scenes here almost reminded me a little bit of with the Righteous Gemstones that we'll talk about later. These horrible religious people. Not saying the religion is horrible by any means. I'm just saying like these people are bad.
These characters, yeah,
these characters and what they're doing behind the scenes. But enough moments. Like I said, it's a 3-star kind of day. 3 stars.
Now, see, I remember growing up and watching this on television and the news, and because they were just fleecing America left and right. With all their "God will save you if you help them build a water park," and "God will save you if you do all this." And I was interested in watching this. You made it a little bit, and then I saw the clips a little bit more, and I thought, Andrew Garfield. Geez, what kind of year is he having?
Yeah.
He got Tick Tick Boom. I haven't seen that, but it's on the list. But that's another one that he's out there. He's in Spider-Man. He's in this, so he's had a great silent run, if you want to really call it that. It's like
he's in Spider-Man. Spoilers, dude.
Well, I'm sorry if you haven't seen it. I apologize. I don't spoil a lot of things. I'm just saying there's a lot of things out there. I think he's in Spider-Man. But yeah, so oh yeah, I can't wait to see that. So yes, Eyes of Tammy Faye over there on HBO Max, right? Yeah. So okay.
HBO Max now. If you want to come back to Paramount Plus to watch Rumble, in a world where monster wrestling is a global sport and monsters are superstar athletes, teenage Winnie seeks to follow in her father's footsteps by coaching a lovable underdog. Almost made it. Lovable underdog monster into a champion. This stars the voices of Geraldine Viswanathan, Will Arnett, Terry Crews, Stephen Smith, Jimmy Tatro, Tony Danza, Ben Schwartz, Michael Buffer, Roman Reigns, and the man, Becky Lynch, but not a lot. So if you're a wrestling fan looking for much of Reigns and Becky, this is not your movie. He speaks almost as much as he does in Hobbs and Shaw. What I said about Ron's Gone Wrong, but not as good. It tries to have a little bit of heart and humor into it, and you might chuckle here and there, and it does look kind of cool, but it never really nailed it for me as far as ever being that funny, ever being that charming. Story was just kind of wonky for me here. I know there's reasons why they took it out of theaters, as far as COVID, but I can kind of see why this makes more sense to eke out on a streaming platform here. So I thought it was fine. It's not one I'm gonna much remember here from this group of animators here. 2 stars. I think this is kind of the ones that I think is more for the kiddies that want to see monsters kind of smash, and a couple of really cool looking characters here, but not enough to really sink your teeth into if you're anyone else.
Yeah, I have no particular interest in this film. I did watch Clifford the Big Red Dog, who I would probably put up against this, and I would say Clifford would win out if you had the chance to watch. Have you watched Clifford yet?
No, I'm never going to.
Well, then, see, we both pick our poisons, and you
But
guys
mine
stuck with
has wrestlers in them.
Yes, but mine was a better movie. Anyway, speaking of a good movie, I hear this is great. I'll just before before we go into this last one, I watched. I heard the author of this film. Who that's based on Fresh Air, and this is why I was really wanted to see this on NPR, and I wanted to see it. It's called The Tinder Bar. JR is a fatherless boy growing up in a glow of a bar where the bartender, his Uncle Charlie, is the sharpest and most colorful of an assortment of quirky, demonstrative father figures. JR begins to gamely, if not always gracefully, pursue his romantic and professional dreams. This has Ty Sheridan, Daniel Renari, Ben Affleck, Lily Rav, Max Martini, and Christopher Lloyd. Please tell me this is well worth watching because it looks fantastic, has a great backstory of true story. Tell me how you felt when you watched this.
I did like it. I do recommend this one. We're going to end on a slightly higher note than a couple of the other ones. Directed by George Clooney as well. He's kind of built up an interesting filmography. Not always great, but I like that he's doing different kinds of films here. I enjoyed both versions of JR too, by the way. I really like the kid. I really like Ty Sheridan. He's shined in a couple of different things in the past. And not just saying this because I champion him all the time, but Ben Affleck's fucking great in this. He really is. He is that uncle. He's the uncle I aspire to be. As an uncle of literally 5 nieces, I want to be that uncle. I want to be that uncle that gives advice, who's cool, and is there. He wants a relationship with the father. Played really good performance by Max Martini as the father, who's in and out of his life multiple times on very rare occasions. Does he ever show up? And Affleck's there for him. The mother's struggling here. I wish, again, kind of like I was saying with Tammy Faye, I almost wish this was a mini series because there's a lot of I want a little bit more of the mom. There's friends of the bar with Affleck that are just kind of there very briefly here. His relationship with the main girl he's going after, I feel isn't developed enough. Also, as the premise kind of showed, some of the problems JR brings is definitely JR's problems. He's the one that starts the shit. But I mean that's kind of the part of the fun, I think. Though. So no, I thought this was a charming, well-made movie. Maybe one of the first ones I saw. I saw it past the new year that I enjoyed checking out. I thought it was going to be my first 2022 movie, but it technically says 2021 where you look it up. So I was like, damn, I wanted to say it was the best movie of the year.
You know what's funny is Amazon, if you actually look at the date that they have it, is for 2022.
Yeah.
Which is
most sites don't list it that way because I wanted to say it's the best movie of the year. The way back was for a while for me. Last year or 2 years ago. Yeah. But I like it. 3.5, like I said, there's underdeveloped parts, some stuff where you know what I mean, but it's charming enough, good performances. Almost my problem is I kind of wanted more. I wanted more of a reasoning why and whatnot,
Oh, okay. There's layers that they could explore more if it would have probably been a miniseries. But
yeah, that's the only problem. Yeah, you're shoehorning in these other friends and there's even a post credits thing where it's back to them hanging out at the beach. You know what I mean? I'm like, that probably, if this was a show, could have been a whole episode of them at the beach. But instead, it's a montage in the credits now because it probably didn't fit, the main film.
Oh, okay. See, that's that. But you know what? Though I'm glad that it's a decent film. One thing I have to ask: Christopher Lloyd, good performance.
Okay. Again, maybe my number one most he's got 1 or 2 really good scenes, and then there's a background character for the last half. Again, another example of he's great. There's a scene where he's grumpy and shitty for a little bit, and then he kind of goes out with the sun to combs his hair and he gets all dressed and has a couple like a really good moment in like a gathering. And like I said, and then all of a sudden like he just grumps kind of the rest of the movie. He never gets anything else past that for like the last hour. You know what I mean? Another example of he's really good actually. I meant to say him.
No. I understand. Okay, so that does it. There's so many movies that we just talked about. If you want to recap some of it, you can.
Oh yeah, we'll do a quick recap. So Matrix Resurrections, Dutch, for me. Don't Look Up, recommendation for me, as well as a recommendation for Dear Evan Hansen. Big recommendation for Pig. Maybe my recommendation of the week. Dutch's recommendation of the week goes to Being the Ricardos. Also, thumbs up for me, but not legally. Don't sue me, Ebert. Ron's Gone Wrong. Thumbs up. Check it out. Thumbs up enough. If you like Rerun 1, check it out. If you don't, this is not the movie that's going to get you into it. Maybe watch Miami or like season 2. Check out Eyes of Tammy Faye. Rumble. Put it on for your niece or nephew and leave the room and watch something better. Tender Bar. Check it out over at Amazon Prime, by the way. Tender Bar.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk a little television. We're going to move a little quicker on these. We have a few of them. We have the second season of Righteous Gemstones over there on HBO Max premiering up. You saw this. I have not yet to see it. Like I said, I've been busy, but I'm going to try to get into these as much as possible because I do love the cast.
Yes, saw less than 24 hours ago. It's my new Sunday night comedy. Kirby Enthusiasm ended a couple weeks ago. HBO was like, "Don't worry, we got you on Sunday nights. Here's the Righteous Gemstones." Yes, like you said, big old cast here. Danny McBride, Adam Devine, John Goodman. John Goodman, man. If for some reason you forgot again how good Goodman is, watch this show. Some great guest stars as well, just from simply the first couple episodes. I've only seen the first 2. That's the only ones that are out so far. Eric Andre is going to have an arc, it seems like that. I haven't seen Walton Goggins yet. Looks like he'll be back at some point. I haven't seen him. Eric Roberts, really good. Another actor. You gotta associate him, at least I do, with a lot of like directed DVD bad things, but Roberts is really good so far as a former friend of Goodman's who might know something about his past. Ooh, watch it. And did you ever? Jason Schwartzman is in it. And did you ever watch King of Queens?
Rarely. But I might have seen 1 or 2 episodes.
Kevin James' best friend Deacon's in it. I just want to shout out that guy because I like him and he's not in a lot of things that I've seen. And so yeah, it's interesting. There is a really big twist at the end of the second episode that's kind of going to really set up the show for the rest of the year, I would imagine. So big revelation that kind of changes how you view some people. So I'm looking forward to seeing where that leads. And also the show starts off at a wrestling event. So that's always a plus for me. I was like, am I watching heels again all of a sudden? What's going on? So yes, the Righteous Gemstones back on the air. Check it out. Like if you like McBride's past works, like Vice Principals and Eastbound and Down, you'll enjoy this.
Yeah, and congratulations to John Goodman losing over 100 pounds now, keeping it off.
Yeah, you can see that too. You can definitely see it.
Yeah. The next one is third season or 4th season? I can't remember.
Four, baby.
4th season of Cobra Kai on Netflix. It's starting to run itself into the ground, probably. Tell me, is it still worthwhile of watching?
It is. How dare you? You shut your whore mouth and take that back. Sorry, that was violent. I understand what you're saying. I do feel there's only so much I can do with like, oh, he's not evil. He's actually a good guy. Oh, the good guy is kind of evil. Oh, the good, you know what I mean? But well written. I enjoy the show. I'm still in it. Again, it leaves you ready for season 5. Gotta say it. Interesting developments. I don't know the movies. I walk into each season not caring about these past cast members, and they do a good job making you care. Terry Silver, I want to say, being brought back into the fold here. I really enjoy where he goes with it. It progresses. Shout out to my boy Brett Ernst, who is like the brother who's in a couple episodes. And finally, this show remembers he has a son. They remembered now the son who has been forgotten about, who has been sometimes in 1 or 2 episodes a season. actually has an arc here. He's in the first couple episodes, and then he's forgotten about for a couple more episodes. But then they go back to him. And I'm like, yeah, the son's got some time to shine. Good for him. Because I feel like they set him up for season 1 and then went, I really got nothing for you. So yeah, I like it, man. I'm a big fan. When we do our top 10 TV shows of last year, maybe I'll be talking about it. Maybe.
Well, I will not definitely be talking about it. So when we get our television shows going. Next we have something over there on NBC. I have no idea what this is. So tell me what's about American Auto and why should we watch it or not?
Yes, American Auto, new sitcom. I think I said NBC. I think that sounds right here. So why not? I'm a sucker for a sitcom. It's in that kind of filmed formula that we've seen from Superstore and The Office. It's the trailer even says it. NBC's newest workplace comedy. Right now, I like it. I'm not exactly, I'm always trepidatious, Dutch, because my heart can only take so much. So I'm trepidatious just in case it gets axed in like 5 episodes. Because I do like it. I don't love it. I think a lot of shows, it takes some time to get their footing set. For instance, Superstore, which I loved. I actually looked. I rated it a 6 out of 10 at one point because I didn't like the first season. And I later on went to have it in my top 10s of the year. Speaking of Superstore, anyone's a fan of that actually sees that John Barinholtz is in this show, which is cool. That's actually Ike's brother. Ike Barinholtz's brother. So I'm happy to see him do something. The underrated Anna Gasteyer, happy to see her in something. There's other characters that I do like as well. Like I said, I did find enough humor in it to where I'm going to stick with it for a little while. If it leaves, I won't be heartbroken. But, we'll see. Who knows? Maybe I can fall in love. I'm just not ready to fall in love yet, Dutch. I'm a little guarded.
Okay. I don't blame you because sometimes, they tease you by giving you enough episodes that they just cut the rug underneath you. So, just take it slow with this one, okay? I don't want you. We don't want to have have an episode I don't know. We'll give you name and show that shit loves and they took off the air. I'm just saying. So that's it, man. That's all I got. I have nothing for television. I like I said, I don't know. When I relax, I relax. When you relax, you watch a lot of stuff. So when I decompress hard. But anyway, so guess what time it is? It's not time for my favorite segment, but this is another segment that I could get into this time. It's our best of 2021 films, the top 10 2021 films. So numerous. You had 119. I had 89 films I went through so far this year. I look like a lightweight again. Last year it was rough because of COVID. The year before, was rough because of COVID. We still have COVID scare, but we both braved enough in the theater this year, I think, more than we did for any type of pandemic. I think.
This year, wish me luck Thursday for Scream.
I will be there as well for Scream. So unfortunately, we won't be together. But
come to Cape Coral.
Hey, there's so far to go, man. So far. But anyway, so I can't wait to hear your review on that. Because I can't wait. But let's get it on, as they say in that great Marvin Gaye film. Let's get it on. The song. Top 10, top 20, 21 films. What do you got? What's your honorable mentions first?
Let's do some honorable mentions. Movies I really like. We didn't quite think about.
No, there we go.
You son of a bitch. Raya and the Last Dragon. Really enjoyed it. Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. Luca. Boss Level. Over at Hulu with Frank Grillo and Mel Gibson. And finally, I Care a Lot over at Netflix, Rosamund Pike and Peter Dinklage. Bad people you love to watch. My number 10 now. Let's go over to Apple TV and talk about Palmer. Justin Timberlake giving his best, most subdued performance yet of a guy who's out of jail and kind of just trying to get his shit together. He's a janitor and ends up being in the care of this kid who's got his quirks, but at heart he's a good person, and so is Timberlake at heart. Just trying to do the right thing here. And nice gripping tale. I thought that was handled pretty well here. Good side performance by Juno Temple, who has shown range from the lovable Ted Lasso character to a very troubled character like the one she is in here. And yeah, this is a movie that has stuck on this list all year long for me. This is something that came out in January and has never been bumped from the top 10. Got close, but has made it in the end for me, Palmer.
Okay. Well, honorable mention wise, Palmer made it. It was on the cusp of making the top 10 for me, but it didn't. But Palmer's honorable mention, along with Peter Rabbit, The Runaway, or Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway. I enjoyed that one out of all. It was like almost like Paddington 2. Sometimes you got a better one.
Whoa, calm down on comparing it to Paddington, my friend. But all right,
you know what I'm saying.
Calm
The second
down.
ones are always way better. King Richard.
Whoa.
King Richard, the Suicide Squad, and the Demon Slayer, the movie Mugen Train. Those are rounding up my honorable mentions. But my number 10 is the end of a franchise for one man, Daniel Craig, with No Time to Die. Yeah, the James Bond film that I cried in for the first. I've never cried in a James Bond film, but I cried in this one. But yes, just watch it. It's full of action, of course. Great story that's transpired, I believe, through 5 James Bond films. I believe he started the most James Bond films at a set, and it is just a unbelievable weave of a tale that they finally wrap up, and just well worth the watch for number 10. No Time to Die.
I didn't see it. I have not seen it yet. So don't at me in the comments. Coming in at my number 9, is it the last Marvel movie? I don't know, but it's the first Marvel movie I'm going to talk about. Shang-Chi, Legends of the Ten Rings. Yeah, I dug this one, man. I enjoyed Simu Liu. I enjoyed his relationship with Aquafina. The fact that it wasn't trying to shoehorn in a actual like romantic relationship. It was 2 buddies for once here. And also like the fact that Marvel let this pretty much stand on its own. There's a little bit of nods and people popping up from other movies here, but it's not too shoehorned in to where you really just can't enjoy this story coming in cold or not. I thought it was a good origins tale as well. The way that you kind of learn about his past instead of setting it up all at once at the beginning, you kind of learn little trinkets throughout it here. Some good humor, and then the end sequence. I know some people go, "Oh, it's another Marvel ending in a big CGI battle," but it was one I was invested in, and it was one that I thought looked really good. And from that, one of the first action set pieces on the bus, as well as Ben Kingsley and that weird monster that has no face that is cuttable, and I want a little plushy version of it. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one here, man. Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings coming in, not at number 10, but at number 9.
Okay. Hold on a second.
I will be holding on.
I have, what's funny is I have a number 9. It's controversial number 9 because the more I've researched it now, I feel bad putting it on the list because it did come out only in America until 2021. It was released in 2020 overseas. So I kind of feel weird about it, but I'm going to put it on here anyway because this is the best film for me. The Swordsman. It's it's a lovely South Korean film, and I don't know. You can say what you want. It was release date on streaming was on July 11th, but it was not.
Good, man. Just talk about the movie. The first trailer I pull up says 2021. Yeah. Just something
okay,
good. Maybe.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure because some people think I'm crazy for it.
No, we were just having a discussion an hour before we started. I was doing some test trivia. I mean, people have Nomadland on their list. People have The Father on their list. And those are, to me, 2020 movies. But then they go, well, the wide release. So it's fine. Like I said, it's a movie's teeter that tail now.
Yeah, and it's basically about a swordman who is going blind in the very, through some shrapnel coming to his eyes in his younger age, and then goes into the world of basically he's raising his sword again because somebody's kidnapped his daughter, and so it's basically the turn of this. I would say back in the times, samurai times, in which the character has to come back and just kick some butt. But it's just beautifully done, well shot, and I just found it just a unbelievably good film. It stuck to me the whole year, and the only thing it's done is gone down a little bit in the list, but it stayed up pretty true. So number 9, The Swordsman.
Very nice, very nice. Interesting. One other one I have not seen. Here's one I know you haven't seen. How do I know, you say? Because we just talked about it, baby. It's Pig with Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
No, this thing did eke into my top 10. As I said, a lot of people tried comparing it to John Wick, which threw me off because and that's only based on the fact that he's going hard trying to find something, but it's not the action movie that John Wick is, and not that it should be or needs to be. I'm just saying if you ever heard that, I would say take that out of your mind. Again, there's just a man on a mission, and you find out why. Like I said, there are 2 scenes here. There's other scenes that are really good as well. Don't get me wrong, but there are 2 wonderfully mesmerizing scenes here, personally, that made me have to put this in my top 10 here. So, Nicolas Cage, say what you will. He made 6 films in 2019 that I did not see, and none of them looked good, and yet he's banging out some fun ones. Willy's Wonderland was fun. This one was great. So, Pig comes in now in my list. A week ago, would not have been able to say that, but now I can.
Well, I am going with a Pixar film for my next number 8, and it's called Luca. Luca is just a breath of fresh air about two boys. Basically, they're not boys, but they're sea dragons. I would like to say, right? Is that the best way to say it?
I don't know. Whatever.
They're like sea dragons, I guess. But when they go into the earth, they become boys. I just find it a touching friendship show in which two walks of life get together, 2 different type of styles as well, and I don't know. I just can't describe this film, but it's so beautiful. It's so much fun. It's just so different. To me, it's a great departure from most Pixar films that they've come out with lately. To me, it's right up there with Soul in the thought process of being fun and original. And I don't know. I just enjoyed it, and I even got to see the sequel as well. You can watch this short. It's a short sequel about the relationship between Alberto and the dad as well. So you take a look at that on Disney Plus. It's cute. So I number 8, Luca.
No, very nice. Glad you talked about it. As I said, this is in my honorables. I really enjoyed it as well. The relationship, the Sacha Baron Cohen cameo, the ending's great. Oh, yeah, I'd like it as well.
Yeah. So what's your number 7?
Don't rush me.
I'm sorry.
Coming in at number 7, I kind of referenced it earlier as far as kind of be a sequel long in making, but unlike Matrix, and this was even longer in the making if you don't count a Melissa McCarthy movie, but did pay off. Ghostbusters Afterlife is next on the list. I'm not even necessarily like your diehard Ghostbusters fan. I really enjoy them. They're in my, the first one's definitely in my top 10 of that year. I probably didn't even see that movie that year, but it's a really good movie. But I was down for seeing, and this handles it right, man. Not only is this a charming, funny movie with some new characters from Paul Rudd to the kids. You have your nostalgia in this. You have your heart. You're building off another one while setting up the future. And I thought that was really gracefully done here. Lovely backstory of this is directed by the original director's son. Instead of Ivan Reitman, this is Jason Reitman, who's also had a decent track record as well, from Juno to Thank You for Smoking. So yeah, I thought it was a really good film, man. It hits you in the heart. It hits you in the bellies for laughs. Looks good. Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. My next one is one that was in the making for years after they've made it once.
Avatar?
No. They kept trying to do it. They said it could never be done. But number 7, I go with Dune, sir. Dune. Beautifully done. I can't wait for the sequel. A lot of crazy shit goes on in this one, but it's a lot of setup basically for the next film. But there's a lot of great acting. Timothy Chalamet, again, unbelievably, just steals the camera. It just makes the camera just love him. You know what I'm saying? He's just one of those actors. He just commands notice as he's walking, and onto the scene. Everyone in this, does well. Momoa, um, Brolin, and help me out. What's the dad's last name? Help me out here.
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac also put on some good job for the characters they run. I just can't wait to see more of the Zendaya character in the future, and Batista to see how they flesh these characters out. But again, it's just a great film. I'm glad they finally got this part down. There's still stuff they omitted, but I'm fine with omitting things at this moment to give you a clear, concise film. And that's what they did for the first part. And I again, like I said, it's just beautifully done, and I can't wait, for the sequel. So number 7, Dune.
Very nice, very nice. Let's see here. Coming at number 6 now, a movie we were so close to getting last year. We were literally days away from it. Now, kitty. Now, I'm reviewing movies.
Top Gun?
First of all, we still haven't done that movie, actually. That movie's not even on my top 20 anticipation list because I can still wait for it. Now, I'm going to talk about A Quiet Place Part 2. Part 1, one of my favorite movies of that said year. Quiet Place 2 does its job, man. Higher expectations to live up to, but it does. It's on par with the first one here. I mean, maybe a slight edge to the first one just based on the fact that it's more original, obviously. We're going off some of the same setups of the first one, but this one first has a great opening sequence of showing you kind of, day one, moment one, what happened with his family. A little bit of Krasinski in there, as well as him returning to the director's chair. Great some more stuff as you go along with the daughter. They get split up, so you got to deal with that. Cillian Murphy, always a welcome addition to any movie. I enjoyed him, and yeah, man, I just saw this movie. It had some great tension, like the first one. Well shot. Continually to evolve. I'm down. I was worried because I felt like one could just end and not need a sequel. They found a good way to continue this franchise. I really dug it.
Yeah, I enjoyed that film as well. We were actually a week away before the theater shut down. I remember that. You and I were so jonesed up for this film. I think we were going to watch. Were we not going to try to watch the first and the second one together? I think they had like 1 and 2 right after
Maybe
each other.
That sounds right.
Yeah, and I thought we were going to go, let's watch this, man. Woo! But no, didn't happen. But my number 6 on the list is a little film that no one had faith in, zero faith in, and then it just blew up. Free Guy over there, at the then Fox movie studios that Disney really didn't have a lot of faith in, so they held it, and then COVID hit, and then they got and after that they released it. Turned out to be a hell of a hit. Ryan Reynolds, Jodie Comer, Taika Waititi. Did I say it finally right? Did I finally get his last name?
I think you nailed it.
Yes. And Joe Carey. I just thought, to me, this was so outside the box, so different than I'm used to seeing. Yes, it's kind of like a Groundhog's Day a little bit with some scenes, but I just found it a charming, endearing film with a lot of originality, really, at the end of the day. You have the what is it? What was his name? Little Ray? I always mess his name up. I always want to call him Little Ray. Little Rail Holly. And the two friendships between him and Ryan Reynolds' character Guy, unbelievably good. It's so sweet. Kind of reminds me of you and me as friends. You'd be cheering me on, or I'll be cheering you on, but that's what we do, man. And but Free Guy, that is what comes in at my number 6.
Very nice, very nice. Coming in now, we're in the top 5 for us here. Number 5 was a big winner over at the Oscars, and now they should be very happy that they're a big winner with me. That's probably better than even winning the Oscar, in my opinion. Judas and the Black Messiah coming in at my list here. Very engaging tale. Again, another great cast here. You got Daniel Kaluuya, rightfully so, winning that Oscar here. Very mesmerizing. Lakeith Stanfield, one of those character actors that if he's in it, I'm instantly that much more interested and psyched for what he's got here, what he's got to do undercover for Jesse Plemons, who's kind of juggling this fine walk of doing what's right and doing sometimes bad things to get what in his mind is right. And this again, just a well shot, interesting tale. As somebody ignorant like me, I don't know much of history unless it's in a good old movie. So you get a nice learning lesson too when you watch powerful, well-made films. So Judas and the Black Messiah coming in my top.
Okay. Now that we're halfway through, I'm busting out the big guns, buddy. So be careful because I'm treading very lightly. No, Zola, my number 5 film of the year. Zola. It's basically loosely based on some tweets of a stripper's night gone crazy. And this has Taylor Page, Riley Keough, and of course the breakout star of this film, Coleman Domingo. We've both been fans for years of Coleman's, but to see him in this part makes me. It was just unbelievable. Him as the Jamaican pimp, basically, and just the way he acted, and he was always so sweet, but then he boom like a dime like just turns on a dime on you, and it's unbelievable. Of course, Nicholas Braun, you know him from Secession. If you get it, if you watch that on HBO, a great cast, great everything about it, just well written, and it's just oh god, it was so good. It really was, and it stuck with me so far. This well, and it was probably when we saw it, it was probably on my top, 3, and the other ones come in. And this is as far as it went. It's 5, and it still has me just so excited to this time. And watch it if you haven't seen it. It's well worth the watch. Number 5, Zola.
I love this one as well. It's a real interesting trip to go down. That movie. My number 4, you've talked about it. Now it's my turn to go a little bit about it. They said it was unfilmable. Well, Denis Villeneuve can film anything he wants to. As far as I'm concerned, Dune, baby, Dune. Again, as I said with kind of Cobra Kai, I have no affiliation to the source material. I have no affiliation to the original movie. I just went in for this cast for Villeneuve, and pleasantly, I can't say surprised because I don't know if Villeneuve has made a bad movie yet, but surprised as far as how much I liked it, which again is almost a dumb idea at this point now to be surprised that this movie is in my top 10. I didn't necessarily think it was going to be the way it looked kind of drab to me, and I was afraid it was going to be too long. And I was in for it, man. And I know some people's complaints is that it's half a movie. It ends. So did Empire Strikes Back. So does the new Halloween. So does Lord of the Rings. The first 2. Like you're telling a story here when everything is so good leading up to it, and it leaves you ready for part 2. I'm down for it, man. Absolutely happy to see where it goes. You do have some brevity here as well. Josh Brolin's pretty has him and Jason Momoa, kind of more of your slightly lighter elements. Even Harvey Bardem, who's a very serious character, has a couple of funny moments in there, and just a stacked cast. Very much excited to see where we're gonna go for that sequel. If we had found out like, oh, it didn't make enough money, there is no part two, then I might have been bummed and like lowered it a little bit. But knowing there's part two, absolutely not. It's a great film. Not bad.
Yeah, I would have been bummed too. Everyone was worried. Then they had to come out and say it. Hey, we're making a part two. So that's how good it was for that. My number four is the only Marvel film to make my top four, and or top 10 list this year. But Spider-Man: Far From Home is the winner.
No Way Home.
Sorry, No Way Home. I get them all mixed up. I like Far From Home too.
I've done it too. I'm not gonna knock you.
I like that one too.
It's the home trilogy.
Yeah, the home trilogy. We'll just call that the final installment of the home trilogy.
That's
No
probably
Way
not
Home.
true. The fourth one's probably going to be Back Home or something.
Oh, like it's nice to be home.
Yeah.
But
home again.
Yeah, I love this film. Again, it sets up so many avenues for future Spider films, along with our guest Doctor Strange and the multiverse movies coming out. I just love the cast. I love the way it was beautifully done. I felt so bad for Happy in this film, but I can't really speak still about it. I've already ruined one thing in this show. I can't speak more, but all I can say is it's not a spoiler when I can say Willem Dafoe is in it, because he really is the character that I love the most, because his character is so in depth, so full of just unparalleledness. Because he just sinks so much work into that character. You can tell, and I loved that cameo or that guest starring role in this film. But again, I loved the idea of Doctor Strange being in this and all the others. And this makes me thrilled to see where is it going next. You know what I'm saying? And I like that J.K. Simmons playing Perry White.
No, that's Superman. You son of a bitch.
Oh shit! Yes. What's his name? I know.
Jonah Jameson.
Jonah Jameson. I apologize. They both look the same, really, in the comics to me. But yeah, J. Jonah. I liked how they didn't make him a newspaper man, made him more of a one of those loudmouths you see on the internet. Conservative people that just think everyone likes to listen to him. So that is what I loved as well. So that's my number four. Spider-Man. What was it again? Spider-Man: No Way From Home, or No Way Home?
And like legitimately say Far From Home. No Way Home. No Way Home.
No Way Home. No Way Home. Yes. Sorry about that, everybody. Especially to all the J. Jonah fans out there.
All right, so we're now in the top three. Coming in my number three here. I'm just gonna say it, man. Suicide Squad, or the Suicide Squad, if you want to be that person.
You better say the. You better say the.
That's gonna totally screw me in a trivia one day. Is I'm just gonna say it real quick, not thinking I'm not gonna get a point. So the Suicide Squad, man. If you had told me whenever the last one came out that the sequel would be in my top five, I probably would have doubted you. It was pretty sloppy. Had its moments. It obviously had a great Margot Robbie. It's the reason why we've had her now multiple times. It had its moments, but it was kind of a sloppy film. But then James Gunn came along, and I knew instantly we were in for a treat, because also, if you know James Gunn's filmography, you also know that not only was Guardians a lot of fun, but the man can make a really fun R-rated movie. And that's what this was. This was Guardians without any handcuffs, with cursing, with I don't know if there's nudity in it, but with cursing, with such violence. Handcuffs are off. And that's what we're in for, man. No one's safe. It's super bloody. It's super crazy, with a giant octopus or starfish, my bad. And what a cast he got here, from the former Doctor Who to Stallone as the shark to Cena, man. While filming, he organically wanted to do more with this character, and probably next time you watch this podcast, we'll have a review for Peacemaker because I know I'm excited for that coming up in the next week. I really loved it. It even redeemed Joel Kinnaman's character to a large degree. You know what I mean? Like he was fine in the last one, and I kind of loved him in this one. And Polka Dot Man, who knew Polka Dot Man would be one of my favorite characters of the damn year, with a great recurring gag that I won't spoil here. And just because I want to say his name too, Taika Waititi pops up. He's popping up in a couple of my favorite movies of the year. So shout out to him for somehow finding his way into my favorite movies. So yeah, I had to pop this one here. Makes me want to rewatch it, watching that trailer. The Suicide Squad.
Well, my number 3, I believe you saw this one. I'm not sure, but I thought you have it somewhere in your collection. My number 3 is The Green Knight with Dev Patel playing Sir Gawain, and it's about the recklessly of King Arthur's headstrong nephew, basically, and his epic journey to prove himself to his family and his court, in which he goes on a journey after he beheads a woods person, or a woods person. I guess that could be that because he's made of a wood. He's made a tree, and the guy basically challenges someone in the court to a duel, or see what kind of man. And if you receive what you give, and he beheads, and then Dev Patel's character has to go off to this epic quest to receive what he's been told will be his own demise. But will it be? We don't know. We have to follow this lovely journey through just this epic tale as it goes through this area. I thought Dev Patel's character in this was just unbelievably done. He is such an underrated actor. He's one of the ones that I'm championing as well for maybe James Bond to be replacing Daniel Craig. I just think it's time for this man to finally get what he needs. I know he was in Slumdog Millionaire and he got all the rave reviews there and stuff, but I want more for this young man. I backed his career from the beginning. The Green Knight, my number 3.
So I do own this. I bought it Black Friday. I haven't gotten to it yet. I actually, funny enough, bought it for Black Friday, and I flipped it for more than I bought it. So that's a fun fact. And I kept the digital code, so I still have a way to watch it. Even more of a fun fact. So I hopefully we'll see it soon. Maybe I'll have it next week, and I'll let you know if it would have changed my top 10.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. But yeah, I enjoyed that movie. It's another A24 selection that I have on my top 10 this year.
Yeah, I see A24. No, it looks great. Hopefully, it'll live up as well. Coming in now, we're in the top 2. You said it before. I always had faith, Dutch, and Free Guy. I just kind of had to go with my heart. What did I enjoy? It's probably because it's already out and I am on sale again on Voodoo. Probably my most watched new movie of the year. It's very easily rewatchable too. To sink in. Ryan Reynolds, who of course gets the flack sometimes for being very Ryan Reynolds, but when it works, baby, and it works to the nth degree here. I don't know who else you would really want in this role. You know what I mean? He's just so charming, so funny. Love the world building here. It borrows from some other IPs, but it meshes it so well together here. I enjoyed the kind of dual relationships you got going on in here between the digital world and the real world with Joe Carey. Yeah, I thought it was so much fun. Good friendship stuff too. You mentioned Little Rel, who I really liked in Judas and the Black Messiah as well. A little more serious there, and he's got a couple of great moments here with Reynolds as well. He's a good buddy. I can see why he gets casted as the buddy a lot. So yeah, Free Guy had to come in as my list as well.
Absolutely, I can't argue with that. I do love that film. My number 2 actually garnered some praise the other night, I believe, at the Golden Globes, even though they didn't have them anywhere. But West Side Story, yes, West Side Story is my number 2 film of the year. Rachel Zegler, unbelievable vocals, unbelievable performance. Dear God, for a newbie, she is what you'd want for a film. She's going to be Snow White, our upcoming Snow White movie that's coming out. She will be Snow White. Ansel Elgort, again, he has some decent chops for singing. And Rita Moreno also shows back up and as the only lone member of the original West Side Story show. I just love this, every part of it. It's still a great love story. It's set back in, I believe, the late 50s, early 50s of New York, where people are, they're trying to push people out of different neighborhoods. It's just an unbelievably epic tale by Steven Spielberg, who I think is back in form with this film, and he knew exactly what he wanted, and he did exactly what needed to be done with this film. He didn't impede on any. It's kind of like The Heights, where they kind of jib jab all over the place with the camera. Where here they let the dancing and the artistry take its form, as if they did back in the early '60s for the first release of this film. But this movie is just magical, and I teared up. I really did in this film, and I felt the passion that Steven Spielberg brought to this movie, along with, of course, the actors. Rachel Zegler, again, just beautifully done for her singing. That broke me down, and it was just so tender and sweet. So, if you haven't had a chance, do watch it. You will not be disappointed. West Side Story, number 2.
I remember you like this one a lot. I have not seen it. I might have to check this one out. If you like, do you like the original?
I like the original. It's a little dated for that, but this one at least is on point as well. It's a little dated, of course, with some of the dialogue, but again, they kind of brush it up, freshen it up a little bit, not much, but it's just unbelievable. You got to watch it, brother. I can't expound upon it much.
I was gonna say, if you like the original, check my eBay store. I currently have the 4-disc 50th anniversary on sale.
Okay, there you go. If you're in the mood to watch the old, what's her name? Who was in that guy?
Rita Moreno.
Yeah, well, Rita Moreno and forgot Natalie Wood as well. So there you go. That was the original. I was coming off the top of my head. So what are we at? What are we at?
Maybe we're at our number 1 movie of the year.
Already, so many good movies we've gone through so far. So I couldn't breathe. There was just one more. One more. Okay. Let's
one more, and you've talked about it. Now's my turn to gush. Spider-Man, No Way Home, No Way Jose Home. Man, you know what? Maybe it's the safe pick, but there's a reason it is, because it's the most wonderful movie of the year, in my opinion. Here, of course, spoilers. And by now, you probably know who shows up, and it's so wonderfully done and handled. My fear was between them and the villains. It would maybe be too much, maybe too many cameos, and at least as far as the hero cameos go, absolutely not. Evidently, we're on set for a couple of weeks. They were able to film enough to where you get exactly what you want. Some good stuff, some new stuff from Doc Ock, from the Green Goblin. Sandman definitely is in the background. So is the Lizard. They're definitely going to kind of be villains here. Jamie Foxx is kind of in the middle of those 4 as far as how much he has to do here. But I really like it, man. I enjoyed the relationship between these 3, him, Ned, and MJ. The battle sequences, the final battle sequence, where yes, we were all right about what happens to Lizard in the international trailer. Somebody's hitting him. Oh yeah. I just thought it was so much fun here, man. They pull a couple of interesting surprises, and I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. No, I'm choking up just in general. But yeah, I love it. It was my number one. My heart won't let anything else be number one this year. Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Well, my heart can handle more than one number one, but this one is the number one in my book. It is a lovely little film. It feels like an indie film, but it's probably not. Belfast, yes, Belfast. Kenneth Branagh's not debut, but directorial movie about semi-biographical, semi-biographical, right? Is that even a word?
Biographical.
Biographical. Thank you, sir, with my words. But yes, that's what this is. A semi-biographical. Again, fuck it. Anyway, yeah, it's just wonderful. The acting from the cast all the way for selection, just beautifully done. Jamie Dornan, Jude Hill, who plays the star of the film, as well. A lot of others as well that are in this film, but it's just a beautifully shot. Before the troubles in Ireland began between the Orange and the Catholics, and it was before that, before the troubles began. Life was perfect, and then nothing could happen. Anything could happen after that. All bets were off. Bombings and lootings, and it's just dangerous and it's not a good place to raise your children during these troubled times in Ireland, Northern Ireland to be exact. And it's a beautiful, well told story. You already know how it might end, but getting to the end is still difficult and very touching. And performances unbelievable, and Judi Dench as well. It just puts on it's just an acting tour de force, had by all, and just the scenes are just loving each time you see it between the families. I love this movie. It plays well, and it's not too over long, and it's not too over short. It's just perfectly done. A beautiful film, Belfast, number one. Love
Very interesting. Yes. If you get some Oscar nominations, I'm gonna check it out. No, this is your number one. I will have to check it out.
Yeah, I gush about that one because it is a very good film. It really is. Okay, let's recap this bad boy. You ready?
Sure.
Okay, go for it, boss man.
Alrighty, here. Let's go 1 second. Bam! Number 10, Palmer. 9, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. 8, Pig. 7, Ghostbusters. Afterlife. 6, A Quiet Place Part 2. Number 5, Judas and the Black Messiah. Number 4, Dune. Number 3, The Suicide Squad. 2, Free Guy. And number 1, Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Okay, my number 10 is No Time to Die. Number 9, The Swordsman. Number 8, Luca. Number 7, Dune. Number 6, Free Guy. Number 5, Zola. Number 4, Spider-Man: No Way Home this time. See, I got it right. Number 3, The Green Knight. Number 2, West Side Story. And number 1 on the list, Belfast. So I think we both have some great lists. And if I want to see a lot of stuff on your list, you want to see a few things on mine, I got to tell you, that's what's great about these lists, that maybe open our eyes to movies that we might not have looked at. And there's a good one right there. Bar and Star?
Go to Vista Del Mar.
Yeah, and there's like my favorite as well. We saw not that one. That's not my favorite. Space Jam. No. But we did see the lovely Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway. So that was yeah. It's like Paddington 2. But okay, it's not up to Paddington 2 standards, okay? But it's better than the first. So anyway, man, you know what time it is? It's time for that time in which I say every time, you know what time it is? I'll tell you what time it is. It's that time for the news and the notable stuff. Yeah, buddy.
All right, news and notables. Of course, we do have to start off with, it's been a couple of weeks since we filmed, so we got a trio of remembrances here. Most recent in the news is Bob Saget. Of course, so from a Full House, he would reprise his role as Danny on Fuller House. He was also a director made the movie Dirty Work, which I actually quite enjoy, with
Yes.
another R.I.P. and Norm Macdonald, and as well as the recent Benjamin, which was, I believe, was a Redbox exclusive for a little bit there. So yes, R.I.P. to Bob Saget, who just recently passed away. Of course, also too a classic actor, Sidney Poitier, who you know from In the Heat of the Night. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, The Defined One, Sneakers, amongst many other things, has also sadly left us.
Absolutely. Oh, and then the worst of the worst.
And then, of course, you got my golden girl, your golden girl, and we'd like to thank her for being a friend. Betty White, man, everyone was in love with her for a long time for a reason. Uh, Mary Tyler Moore show, of course, Golden Girls, even Golden Palace, which I think is on Hulu now. Um, I remember her even cursing a little bit over at Lake Placid. The Proposal, you might have seen her in. Hot in Cleveland was her more
Including you.
recent show. She was in for over 100 episodes in that. Even had a voice cameo in a Toy Story 4. Uh, Overall, just a loved person. Got to host SNL a couple years back, which was a fan petition. She hosted because the overwhelming response of people wanting to see it, and she was funny, man. They re-aired it. I rewatched that whole episode recently because they re-aired it recently for good old Betty White. Was it weeks away from 100? 99 years old. Just wonderful shout out to her, man.
Yeah, I agree. I think whenever I was at whenever we heard about Betty, I was at lunch at the time, and I have to tell you, when I heard about it, I thought it was a joke. Somebody said, "Oh, Betty White's dead." I was like, "Oh, no, that can't be true." Then I jumped on my phone as soon as I could, during that period, and just started looking, and my goodness, it took me aback. I know she was 99. I know people keep telling you that, but at the same time, she seemed to be a tour de force who would never never probably die. It's one of those things. Other people would go before her. Like she said in I think the comedy roast with Artie Lang. It's kind of funny that I'll outlive you. You know what I'm saying? She showed that to Artie Lang in the roast, and unfortunately, I'm glad that Artie Lang is still alive, but at the same time, I hate to see that she's gone. But yeah, it was she was just a great soul, and also loved animals. So she was a very big protector of animals to make sure that they were treated fairly. And at least she's now with her former husband Al. Her late husband Al, and now they're back together. It's kind of sweet if that's the case. So, R.I.P. Betty, R.I.P. Cindy, and R.I.P. Bob. We'll miss you.
Them. Going on down. No easy segue, but we did our top 10 movies of the year. I've got another top 10 for you, real quick. The top 10 best-selling Blu-rays and DVDs of 2021. They were.
I can't hear.
mm, mm.
Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
No, not really. But get yourself a drink. Get yourself a drink.
No. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Top 10 best-selling Blu-rays and DVDs of 2021. 10, Tenet. 9, John Wick, Parabellum. 8, the Harry Potter Complete Collection. Number 7, Soul. 6, News of the World. 5, Monster Hunter. 4, Godzilla vs. Kong. 3, Raya and the Last Dragon. 2, The Croods New Age. And number 1 might surprise you, Wonder Woman, 1984. Sold the most
Really?
Blu-rays and DVDs.
Wow, that's amazing right there. That's a shock. That's a shocker.
Speaking of Wonder Woman, but not really, but in the Justice League sense, Ben Affleck,
Yes.
my boy Ben Affleck, who we talked about earlier from the Tender Bar, he has confirmed that he will appear in The Flash alongside Michael Keaton as a version of Batman. And he has said this will be the last time he will play Batman, but some of his favorite scenes will be in this movie that he ever filmed as Batman. So some high praise there. I'm looking forward to it. It's sad it's the last time, but I mean, on the silver lining, at least there's some more.
Yeah,
The
you know what?
boys.
I apologize. I was gonna feed in on your Ben Affleck, deal. Also, he's come out and said that it was because of Josh Whedon that he wanted to hang up the cowl and never want to play it ever again, because he had such a bad time on the set with that guy. He also tried to talk the staff, all the actors, to walk off the film. So it goes to show you what kind of hell Whedon put him through and put everyone through. So he tried to get everybody to walk away, couldn't get it done, but unfortunately, but I'm glad that Ben is put back on the cowl because he was a pretty decent Batman. I'll tell you that.
Wrong. He was great.
Hey, we're not done yet, my friend. We have another Batman coming, so we don't know what's going on. So
That has nothing to do with what I just said.
So the boys, you want to talk about the boys?
Well, no, I was gonna retort to your retort.
Oh,
no, I mean that's been that's one of the saddest news for me of 2021. Was the news of Joss Whedon because as a diehard Buffy fan, even to the point of writing fan fiction, yeah, I'm that guy. It was sad to learn that this was a thing. Even James Marsters, which you're a Buffy fan, Spike, he's kind of spoken about it recently on the Michael Rosenbaum podcast. Chris McCarpenter was one of the first ones to come out about it. So that sucks, man. Talented guy, but obviously a troubled guy. So that's sad to hear. I'm glad Ben has reprised the role and maybe found some peace because he's a great Batman. He's a great Batman.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what else we got?
So The Boys, season 3, the first 3 episodes are dropping. Gotta wait 6 months. June 3rd, we will be getting season 3. Like I said, the first 3 episodes all at once, and then a little over a month later, July 8th, the rest will trickle out 1 week at a time. So you'll do a little bit of a mini marathon if you want, but then you gotta wait. Something you don't have to wait much longer for. Pixar's Turning Red, originally set for theaters, has been pushed back. Now has been just said to be coming out on Disney Plus, not theaters, but Disney Plus on March 11th.
Now, okay. Let me just say this. I understand. Possibly they're afraid of another outbreak happening of Omicron and all those other things happening. But here's what I look at it as. I think this is the first fully. This is the Japanese done. I believe that's the Red Panda. I may be wrong. If I am, I hope somebody corrects me. But to me, this is an all ethnic cast. Of learning a different culture, learning things like that, on top of just the regular Pixar type film. But to me, I think it's gonna it's a shame that they're putting this out in theaters where they're not putting it out in theaters because people lose that chance to be exposed to other cultures and learn a little bit about backgrounds of some beliefs and not beliefs. I'm just saying, to me, I know this is just a part, it's a spoof about somebody turning into a red panda, but at the same time, I feel that we're missing some demographics who do not get a chance to see this if they don't have Disney Plus or if their parents can't afford it and they can only do one movie. You know what I'm saying? To me, I think that's a shame. I would have loved to see this in the theater.
I'll only counter argue you on the idea of, you say parents who can't afford. Well, if they can afford at least 2 tickets, gas money, popcorn, they can likely afford 1 month of Disney Plus. This is going to reach just as much people, if not more, and it's kind of more readily accessible. So hopefully that ideology of what you said can still very much persist.
I just believe though some people like to bring their children out, get them out of the house, let them experience life. To me, that's what I think more people like to do with their children because they're already stuck in the house so often. So this is just another excuse to stay in. I don't know. I can see your point as well. I just don't like the idea that they're kind of ignoring, some parts of it in my mind. That's what I see.
Well, also too, it's unfair to say ignoring because they're not. It's simply a safety protocol. So,
Well, what's your safety protocol? Somebody else's ignorance. No, just playing with you. Anyway, so what else we got for you, buddy?
I know what you did last summer, Dutch, and that was not watch. I know what you did last summer because it's canceled.
Absolutely.
Evidently, that's what most people did last summer, which was not watch it. So there will be no season 2 over at Prime. I tried starting it. I like the first 2 a lot. They're right in that 90s pocket of horror films I grew up with Scream. But this one felt very CW'd, Gossip Girl updated. I didn't like it. I didn't feel it needed to be stretched out either. I didn't necessarily see this as a show. This is the opposite of what I was saying before with, needing to stretch out with all the different characters. Give me an hour and a half, kill some people, move on. So I'm fine with this one. Pow! Straight to the Moon. Maybe Damon Wayans Jr., who's in talks for a Honeymooners reboot. Honeymooners reboot for Damon Wayans Jr. possibly in the works. I guess last time we saw Honeymooners, it was Cedric the Entertainer, wasn't it?
Yeah, Cedric the Entertainer and what was the Meet the Blacks? What's his name?
Mike Epps.
Mike Epps, thank you. Was in that. Yeah, I thought it was okay. I think Regina King was in that too.
I never saw it.
Yeah, well, it was okay. It wasn't the greatest, but I don't know. I don't think switching a character around sometimes is a good thing, but you know what? I'm open to it. I'm always open to different things and different ways of looking at things. So, we'll see. But I don't know what you can do. Because back in then, it's still spousal abuse. If they want to say "pal zoom to the moon," I'm gonna beat you down. That type of thing.
Now they're gonna re-updated words like, "Oh, Clarice, one day I'm gonna kiss you to the moon" or some shit.
Yeah. I just want to throw something in here. I don't know if you have a chance. They finally, because we talked about Betty White passing at the top of the segment. They did find the reason for her death. They revealed it today. Stroke. She had a minor stroke. She had a stroke, which she was asleep, so no one knew anything. So that's good. So, but stroke is what caused her death. So sorry to disappoint. Sorry to go low, but let's go high now. What else we got for us in this?
We're supposed to not go back to the sad, Dutch. There's
I'm sorry.
logic to this.
We'll do better.
So we don't always. I don't always report on these, but I thought this was a fun one that I've been thinking about recently. Morbius got delayed again. We know it's set in the Spider-Man universe. But is it set in Tom Holland's Spider-Man universe? Or maybe Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man universe? So that's the new fan theory, is that because there really was nothing competing against it. A lot of people noticed, including myself. So it's not them necessarily trying to move away from something, it seemed like. Why did they do it? Unless it was reshoot. So
well,
I don't know. You can definitely see a Spider-Man in the background on a poster. We did see Michael Keaton in the trailer, but we also see him making a Venom reference in the trailer. So where the fuck does this take place? So we will find out.
I don't know. I can say this, but I can tell you. I think Marvel just come out with some type of weird, Spider-Man type trailer for Spider-Man 4, but they had Andrew Garfield in it. I don't know, but I think he and Venom are in the same universe. That's my opinion. But then again, you throw a monkey wrench that maybe that Venom was supposed to stay in the Marvel verse, but then they took him out. We don't know what the negotiations were with Marvel and Sony. So that's why I think Venom went back, through time into his world. I think I don't know. It's going to be weird, brother. It's going to be strange. Do you have any more good news?
Yeah. I got news. Hold on.
I'll just say.
I'm caught holding on TV for my bunghole. Beavis and Butthead movie is coming to Paramount Plus this year. I'm excited. I like Beavis and Butthead. And they're middle aged. They're aging them too. So we'll see what that adds to the.
Do they have children? Right? Is that what we're saying? They had children.
I don't know, man. They kind of seem like lifelong bachelors to me.
but will Daria show up? That's the question.
Probably cameo.
I hope
those
so.
Credits. So will Venom.
I'm
I'm gonna do the rest of the show like this, by the way. So Dwayne the Tub, I'm Drowning Rock Johnson. There was an interview with like one of his like producers recently, and they asked, hey, are we ever getting those, rumored sequels to Rampage or San Andreas or Journey to the Center of the Earth 3? And it's been kind of just reported that The Rock would rather focus on other stories. If he feels it's the right thing to do, he's up for it. But the studios want it more than The Rock does. That's the reason why The Rock seems to be kind of going from project to project. So I kind of like that he's kind of standing by that he doesn't feel the need to do another San Andreas Save the World or a Rampage, more monkeys destroy buildings, So I like that idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think he needs to broaden those horizons. How many Fast and Furiouses does he need to make? None, according to him, which is fantastic. Say F you, Vin Diesel. F you.
I do like that. Yeah. Vin Diesel's like, come on, man. Paul would want it. My kids want it. And The Rock was like, how dare you bring fucking Paul and your kids into this?
Yeah. I just love that. Yeah.
Don't try to shame me, you son of a bitch.
You know what? I'll shame you, but I'll do another Hobbs and Shaw and fucking kick your ass.
And finally, I hinted at it before, but Don't Look Up, the new film by Adam McKay with DiCaprio and Laura Lawrence and Streep. The most viewing hours for a movie in a single week on Netflix. Lots of people tuning in to Don't Look Up. So congratulations to them. I'm sure Netflix is happy with however much they spent on that movie. And the Red Notice made them some money. This made them some money. Yeah.
Well, I have a few extras. They're not depressing notes. There's some good. They're all good this time. Congratulations to the morning show over there on the Apple TV network. They've just been renewed for season 3. Congratulations also over there on the old Netflix network. Yes, Netflix network. You know that is. Emily in Paris renewed for seasons 3 and 4. Can you believe that? 3 and 4? They just came out with season 2.
I don't even know what that is. So cool.
But yeah, Emily in Paris is there. Also, I have they decided over there on the Peacock network to tone down the jokes, cut them out completely, and just go completely drama with the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air show. They decided let's go drama. Let's not do any more. Let's just cut the jokes out. Let's just have a serious Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And also, I know this is not your alley, but those who follow NPR, such as myself, veteran anchor from NPR is Audie Cornish, has signed on to do a streaming CNN broadcast show. So if you're a big fan of Audie Cornish, now you know where to find her. She's no longer in the morning. She is now over there on CNN. So there you go. There's some of my news, my good brother. Yep, there's Audie. I love her. I just think she's just an amazing news lady. And unfortunately, NPR just Let her go.
Welcome to NPR. Today we will talk about the news of movies. This is NPR.
That's not how they talk about NPR. Look. Also, don't forget the dairy market. Are you finished? Are you finished mocking me? Do we have any results of the Golden Globes envelope openings? Do we have any results?
I didn't know that happened.
Well, just because they did it without no one watching. Just saying. But anyway, that's all right. We could catch up on that next time by just looking at what our winners are.
I didn't know they weren't advertised. They're airing this year.
They did not air. They were just pushed to the back of the curb until they get their crap together over there in the foreign Hollywood press.
All right, no, screw it. Let's do it. We're here. Best motion picture drama goes to Power of the Dog. Nicole Kidman, you just raved about her. Well, they did too. Best actress in a drama picture for Being the Ricardos. Best actor drama, Will Smith, King Richard. Best motion picture, comedy musical, West Side Story.
There we go.
As well as winning for Rachel Ziegler for Best Actress in Comedy or Musical for West Side Story. Best Actor in Comedy or Musical, Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man. Tick Tick Boom.
Yes.
Best Director for Motion Picture goes to Jane Campion of Power of the Dog. Best Supporting Actress, the West Side Story swept them, Ariana DeBose.
There we go.
Another actor in a motion picture is Cody Smith McPhee, Power of the Dog. And we gotta watch this fucking dog movie. Best TV series with Succession. We mentioned it earlier with Nicholas Braun on your Zola. Best actress in a TV series drama, Michaela J. Rodriguez for Pose. Actor in a TV series drama, Jeremy Strong in Succession. TV series comedy, Hacks, over at HBO. Funny show I reviewed a little while ago. Not today, but a little while, episodes-wise. Jean Smart also won for Hacks and Best Actress TV Comedy. Not surprising, it swept up at the Emmys. Now Jason Sudeikis has won for Ted Lasso, Best Actor in TV Comedy. Best Limited Series, The Underground Railroad. Best Actress in a Limited Series, my future wife, Kate Winslet in Mayor of Easttown. Michael Keaton won for Dope Sick and Best Actor in a Limited Series. Sarah Snook in Succession for Supporting Actress. Oh Yang-soo for Squid Game and Supporting Actor.
That's the old man. That's the old man.
Is it really?
Yes, the old man one. That I think he was the number one, right? Number one? Was he number one or number 99? I can't remember. He was number one, I think. I think his number. Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Best original score, Hans Zimmer, Dune.
There we go.
Screenplay goes to your Belfast. I can't as well. I didn't even know that. Best animated feature is Encanto. Foreign language film, Drive My Car via Japan. Original song goes to No Time to Die. And those are your major Golden Globes.
Yeah, see, there was a lot of love for my West Side Story and, Succession, one of my favorite television shows. We had Belfast get some love. I tell you, it's the Ricardos, hey, we both enjoyed the performance by Nicole Kidman. So did these dudes. Encanto, I'm not a very, there's other ones you could have chose. I think Luca could have won over that one easily, but I guess that's how they play the game. So, other than that, I'm fresh out of news, man. I'm fresh out of news. Okay. So yeah, there you go. Maybe one day they'll put the Golden Globes back on the air. You think? Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you would say something. Anyway, I think that's it. I think we're done. We're done. Woo! We had a good time. We did our top 10 of 2021 movies. I think we're going to do our top 10 television next time, right?
Up to you. Would you like to do television or the worst movies of 2021.
Well, if we kind of cut down some stuff, you want to do both?
Nope.
Because you don't like to cut down this stuff. Okay.
I mean,
Fine.
we can make it long. What do we cut down?
I'm just saying, we could cut down, like, we could skip TV completely for a little bit because there's
What is that
nothing
going to say? 4 minutes?
Well, yeah, a little bit. People like time. People love, cutting us down a little bit. I was told we should cut the show down a little bit.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, you're chopping off 4 minutes to add like an hour.
We could limit, the 15 movies that we review to maybe
Not if
5.
you make me wait another 2 weeks, and I'm gonna have another 10 movies. I left movies off. Die in a gunfight. Sorry, I don't got time to talk about you this week. Birthday cake. I don't got time to talk about you this week.
The funny thing is, no one even knows what those are.
That's why they were on the chopping block. Mother Android with Chloe Grace Moretz on the chopping block.
I'm sorry for Chloe Moretz.
I am too. 2 stars. There's my review. 2 stars.
I'm sorry she was in a movie no one cares about. But anyway, no, we'll work on something. We'll surprise you. We'll even have television, or we'll have the worst films, and I already have 10 of those bad things. So, and maybe Neo and Trinity might be a part of it. It's possible.
I already spoiled it. It's not on mine, but
yeah. So you never know. You might rewatch Matrix 4 and say, "Woo, top 4 for the worst."
Yeah, I don't unless we're not filming the next episode until another 2 years or so. I'm not rewatching that fucking movie.
Oh God!
Well, for coffee touch. Jordan. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell an enemy. Hope you had a good New Year's. Hoping you have a good January. We'll see you soon.
Absolutely. Take care, brother.